afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. My name is Katie O, and this is Moon Mom and Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another energy peephole for today, the 23rd of November, 2021, where we are in a waning gibbous moon in the sign of Cancer. Firstly, I'm very sorry about the noise. There is landscaping going on, and unfortunately, I need to kind of do this video right now, and I can't really wait for them to stop. So there's like a bit of whooshing and whirring in the background. I'm really sorry if it's distracting, but unfortunately, we kind of have to work with what we've got. So, firstly, I want to say that we were owning our decisions yesterday and experiencing a little bit of today, we're owning our decision. Yesterday, we were experiencing a little bit of buyer's remorse, and today we are working on figuring out what that all means and how we feel about it with the moon in Cancer. All right, so we have to call upon our feminine moon energy. The moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer, and the sign of Cancer is a very emotional a very emotional sign. But we have to feel through this decision, not think it. Feel it. Because when you get into overthinking, like we talked about yesterday, you're not really supporting yourself, okay? You need to support the decisions that you've made by feeling them out, okay? The best decisions that support you and your true authenticity are the ones that come from the heart, the ones that consider both the head and the home and bring us right into our heart space and bring us into a sense of emotional security about what we do, all right? So we're owning up to a lot of things that maybe we were worried about yesterday. I bought this thing and I don't know if I should have spent the money. I said this thing to this person and I don't know if I should have. I signed this contract and is it going to be right for me? We need to feel this out, okay? Don't think about what other people say. Don't think about what it's going to look like. Feel it out, okay? Get right into your intuition. Cancer is a sign. It's a water sign, and it's extremely guided by intuition. With the moon, we understand cycles, and we go into our subconscious and emotional bodies to debunk them, to work them out, to figure them out. All right, so I think these energies are very prevalent today. We have 4 aspects I'd like to talk to you guys about. The first one being the moon in a sextile with Uranus. So we may feel that doom is impending with this disassociation or this new development or this new contract or this whatever that we've been doing. There's been something that we saw for a long time. Remember, Uranus is still retrograde in the sign of Taurus, which will have to do with our values, which will have to do with our stability and structure of our lives. And we feel heavy about it, okay? We're feeling emotional about it. But we must look at the way the cards have fallen from a feminine energy perspective, from a receiving stance. We need to consider that a lot of the time, things that come about in our day-to-day life are gifted to us by the universe, especially with the presence of Uranus. Uranus is something coming tumbling down, but because of completely external circumstances. We didn't tear down the tower. It fell down on its own because of erosion, because of not being built correctly, because of all of these external circumstances. And we need to sit in our feminine energy to understand that we are receiving the gifts of the universe. And yes, sometimes they can make us feel dissociated from ourselves. Yes, sometimes they can make us question whether or not things are right for us. But we need to know that they are being given to us for a reason. Okay? The moon is also in a trine with Mars. And I believe that we're making actions with deep implications to transform ourselves. Okay? We can grasp these best through the moon energy and through going by feel, yet again, with what I said at the very beginning. We need to understand that we receive these things that tumble down around us sometimes for a reason, and that we then take transformative action based on trying to pick up the pieces of the fallen tower. All right? And tapping into our feminine energy, yet again, helps us with this. Going by feel, okay? Receiving the transmissions of the universe and feeling them out. The sun is also in opposition with the North Node. And I feel that sometimes our actions or the circumstances make us feel like we're getting further from our goals. But sometimes we actually feel very optimistic. And we know that our destiny will come to us. Yeah. We have to be wary about the ego's implications in these feelings, though. With the sun prevalent here, the sun playing tug of war with our north node, it's our ego is going, oh, that's not for me. Oh, yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. So that buyer's remorse right now, that feeling of back and forth about, I don't know if this is right or not. This is where we are here. Our ego is really strongly implied in it. We have to be careful. If our ego is just screaming because it's afraid of different energies, of changes, of fluctuations, or if our ego is saying something because we're actually in a properly well-suited fight or flight. At the same time, if things are coming to us and we're feeling good about it, is it because our ego is feeling instantly gratified? Or is it because our ego has driven us to do something that is true to our sense of self? Last but not least, the moon is in a square with Chiron. And I'm hearing that old wounds are being triggered by the emotional subconscious exploration of these cycles. We know that things are coming up for us for a reason. We know that there's so much going on and there are greater implications of all of these things. But we still get... we still feel sore in certain places where we've been beaten in the past by circumstance, where we were maybe standing too close to a tower that fell and got buried in rubble and had to call the avalanche team and get ourselves out of it. It's triggering. It's absolutely triggering. This square as well. It brings obstacles. It brings challenges. Yeah. But we need to recognize that old wounds can often be an obstacle and a challenge in and of themselves if we don't treat them with respect. If we don't see them as a badge of honor that has been placed upon us through merit, and we see them more as, oh, that thing that swallowed me whole that time. Coming at it from a wounded perspective, of course it's going to feel like the end of the world. But when you empower yourself, and when you understand your emotions and your subconscious, when you understand the cycles of the moon, then it can feel a lot better to be able to see these old wounds as a badge, to be able to see the beauty in difficulty, to be able to see the love that comes from feeling pain or heartbreak. When we disassociate often with ourselves, we somehow find we usually, we are inside here, right? We have to deal every day with the ways that we cope with being ourselves and being human, and they can make us feel dissociated from ourselves, but we are inevitably going to come back home, come back into our heart space, come back into our own mind, come back to get our wits about us. And when we do, that's when we truly see things for the better. And we truly do feel beautiful about the hardships that we've surmounted. Okay? Let's get a card of the day. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry about the noise. It's extremely distracting for me, I'm not going to lie. But hey, sometimes we have to undergo uncomfortable challenges to get what we have to do done. I'm using another brand new deck. I accidentally verbal diarrhea to my lady that I order cards from, and ended up ordering cards months ago that I forgot about, and they all came at the same time. This is a really beautiful deck. It's the same creator as the Tarot del Toro, the same principle where he actually carved physical pieces of artwork for each card, and based on imagery. And this one is all about Jim Henson's Labyrinth. And I'm a huge David Bowie fan. I do really enjoy this movie, although it's one of those movies that it's so far down from my childhood that I always have, I need to refresh my mind about it because it's such a mystical thing. I love that movie so much. But here we go. We're going to get the card of the day from the tarot, the Labyrinth Tarot. It's really, really gorgeous. I'm really excited to use it for the first time. It was one of these decks that I discovered through a friend, my friend Kathy, Pieces of Eight Crafts. She is also responsible for the runes the purple and green runes that I use on my lives. Just absolutely gorgeous. Kathy told me that this deck existed and it wasn't yet available in Thailand, and here it is. So super excited to have it. It was well worth the wait. So let's see, what's the energy of today? We got 2. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, so first of all, we have the King of Junk, and the suit of junk is Pentacles in this deck. So it came out with the Tower. Hello. Exactly what I was talking about. We are now transforming what it means to be the masters of our physical world. We once maybe have been a little greedy, have been a little materialistic, have been a little self-centered. And all of that had to come crumbling down. Lightning struck this unstable building that's created, that was built up on a cliff that was not hospitable for people to be on. We're not meant to be constantly worried about money. Yeah, this is something that was introduced to humanity through necessity and through whatever it is that you want to look at it as. But oh my god, this is so distracting. I'm really sorry. It needed to come tumbling down. These things didn't suit us. They didn't work for us. It was no good. Yeah, it was absolutely no good. And here we go with it here coming tumbling down, where we are transforming our King of Pentacles energy to better suit us. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles, which means that we're becoming independent. We're becoming sovereign. I'm going to come back. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Thanks for bearing with me. It's probably going to start again, but at least it won't be right under the window. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we have the King of Junk and the Tower. So we are changing drastically the way we were commanding our physical world because we were doing so in an unstable way. We were doing so in a way that wasn't true to ourselves. We were doing so in a way that was creating structures that were going to get washed away to the sea as soon as there was a big rainfall. So we had to stop doing that. And it was and we needed to do it ourselves. Okay? This is the Nine of Pentacles. Is it? Yeah, it's the Nine of Pentacles. We got all this junk. We got all these little objects, all these things, yeah? The Nine of Pentacles is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. It's got the 2. Okay, that's considered 2. Yeah. We needed to find sovereignty within ourselves. We needed to understand our physical world for ourselves. We needed to explore the Pentacles all by ourselves to understand that the culmination of the cycle is, because the 9 is almost a 10, which is a almost completed cycle. The culmination of the cycle is this all falling down. Okay, this is what's hidden under the deck for us. We may be in this current Nine of Pentacles energy where we're like, yeah, everything is doing great. We've created this for ourselves. We're doing this. We've got all this going, but there's still something missing, and that you have to drop your ego. You have to drop the materialism. You have to drop the focus on money and objects. You have to drop the focus on all of the things that you can see and touch and smell. And yeah, you have to drop that focus, because that's the only way that you're going to find your true authenticity, is by getting back to yourself and understanding that the real world, although it's a reflection of our inner selves, it doesn't really mean anything unless we have a strong sense of inner self. Okay. Again, that buyer's remorse too, I'm hearing, is that like the only reason you're worried that you've bought or you've acquired or you've signed on for the wrong thing is because of that old bad vibes, King of Pentacles, gimme kind of vibe. But no, whatever you're doing now, if you felt it out with your heart in order to come to the conclusion that this was what was for you, then it's right for you, and you should trust that. Okay. Okay, first and foremost, release and allow. Let the tower fall. Release your hold on the material things that exist in your life. Release your desire to control. Release how you maybe holding on to your money. Allow this release. You are being pushed over and over and over again to release it. Just let her go. Okay? Let that thing go. Communication conclusion. Some of you guys are having closure. Okay? There is a conclusion of a cycle, and you are putting it out into the universe. Okay? It might be difficult. Yes, it might for some of you incur a loss of material wealth, but for a lot of you, I'm hearing it's going to be an investment, okay? Especially with this communication card. Communication card often shows of energetic exchange, right? Yeah, it can be with words, but it's just an energetic exchange. So this conclusion that you may lose out on certain bits in involves an exchange of energy that will bring back to you. So yes, you may be losing right now, but it's an investment. Fork out the cash if you have to, because it's going to come back to you tenfold. Or like for example, for me, I'm going through the process of changing paperwork to be able to stay in Thailand. And yes, it's going to cost me quite a bit of money up front, but it's going to end up saving me money in the long term, and also saving me a lot of stress and hectic nature, because I was at the whims of everybody else. I want to be sovereign, so I'm undergoing this process that yes, I have to drop a whole bunch of cash right off front, but I know that everything is going to be all right, and it's going to permit me to do what I want to do, what's more true to my nature, what makes my heart sing, and that is going to bring way more abundance than I ever imagined. And that doesn't necessarily mean money. It can, but you know what I mean. It's releasing that, because that conclusion, albeit heartbreak, will end up giving you some sort of an energetic payoff. Also, though, communicate about this conclusion. Talk to someone you trust. Tell someone about it. Hash it out. Work it out. Feel it out. Go within. All of that stuff. You need to exchange energy, even if it's only within yourself, but preferably if you can verbalize it, speak it out to somebody else to try and get some sort of comparative conclusions that you then look at objectively and not through the sense of the ego, and see how they match in with your own inner dialogues. Boredom and resolution. This resolution is bringing you a brand new, exciting wave. You've been bored. You felt stuck. You felt held back. You felt like you couldn't move forward. You felt like you didn't have opportunities for a long time. And that boredom was just keeping you out of alignment. But this is coming to a resolution. The hammer is falling on this bad vibe shit. And you are going to get what it is that you deserve, okay? No more boredom. No more crap. No more stuck energy. You're going to be able to move forward, because as soon as that gavel pounds, as soon as the verdict has been read, as soon as the judgment has been passed, then we clear up a lot of tension so that we can move forward. Wake up and dull. Okay, there we go again. This is gonna be an awakening for you. You're bored, and it's coming to a resolution. But they're saying, wake up now. Awaken yourself. Open your third eye if you've not yet quite done it already. Or open your third eye again. Wake up. Okay? Stop sleeping at the wheel. It's time to hold that wheel with two hands and have your eyes on the prize and go forward. This is Sagittarius seasons, my friend. In Scorpio, we had to be submerged. Yeah, we had to stop. Yeah, we had to let time for things to transform. But now's not that time. It's time to wake up. It's time to move. And it's also time to realize what that dull, bored, stagnant energy served you for. What it did for you. What it helped you with. Okay? Wake up. Okay. That's it for me. I'm so sorry that the whole beginning of the video, well, the majority of the video was with that buzzy, blah, shitty sounds. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, sometimes we just got to deal with uncomfortable situations in order to move forward. And I had a message to get across to you, and I've only got a short amount of time. I'm already late for what I have to go to, but it's important to get these messages out. So everyone's going to have to wait, but it couldn't wait for that to be finished. Anyhow, I'm so sorry for anything you're going through, or if I made you feel a certain way, or if you were extremely irritated by the sounds. Thank you for being a beautiful being and lending your energy to this circuit that I hold so dear. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the Ascended Masters, angels, and whatever other energies were involved in us getting these clear, concise messages for our greatest good, whether it be right now in the near or distant future. These messages are timeless, and if you find them, no matter when it is, there's something in here for you, even if you might not quite love hearing it. I love you to the moon and stars and to infinity and beyond and back, and I accept this, and I hope you do too, but if not, it's all good. Bye. See you next time.